Hello, Pisces. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing very, very well. Pisces, let's see how your energies are going to be at this moment so you can use them to your advantage and see a situation from a new point of view. This reading is general. Take what resonates with you and don't discard the message. And it applies to everyone who has Sun, Ascendant, Moon, or Venus in the sign of Pisces. Pisces, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Remember to activate all the notifications. If you want, you can follow me on my other TikTok and Instagram accounts, where I will be uploading new content. If you need a personal consultation with me, you can write to the email shown on the screen, and I will send you all the information you need. And attention, 3 phone lines have been activated for Argentina, Spain, and the rest of the world, where you will be able to contact a tarot office 24 hours a day. You will be able to communicate with my group and team of tarot readers who will be able to answer all your questions instantly. We are going to channel a message for the sign Pisces. Let's see how all this begins. It starts here with the 3 of Swords. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 7 of Cups. And we have the Page of Wands. All right. I feel this energy of attention, like going out, leaving a situation. This could be an illusion. This could be some kind of deception, some situation very connected to someone from your past that probably needed to be closed, I feel, right? You all are taking a new direction here, right? This is like, well, that's it. I got this off my chest. I got rid of this situation, this emotional burden, this pain. It could be several situations. This isn't just about, for example, in a group of Pisces, leaving behind or letting go, releasing or having been able to close a situation with someone from your past. Where there have been promises, where there have been illusions, where there has been confusion, but also where there has been disappointment, where there has been deception. Maybe this person behaved with you in a very kind way, right? But there's something a bit childish in the relationship, isn't there? There was a bit of a lack of structure, a bit more commitment was missing. I feel that you have realized that this isn't what you wanted, and that's why I say you've taken this energy of motivation to say, I'm getting out of here and opening myself up to a new adventure, to a new experience, or to be with oneself clearly, right? So that's why this is when the energy is regained. In other cases, if this doesn't have to do with a person, it has to do with your own emotions. It could be about emotional patterns that are very related, that are kind of confusing you on an emotional level. This is also like creating illusions, projecting emotions in people, attributing qualities to certain people that maybe they didn't have, right? And this doesn't have so much to do with the other person, but with what you're projecting yourself, right? Projecting insecurities, fear of loss, fear of being cheated on. And maybe this wasn't real, right? Maybe they were just fantasies based on insecurities from your past. Maybe something happened when you were very little, or maybe this is reflecting some childhood wound where these situations happened, right? So what is being left behind are these illusions that have caused pain, that in some cases have even caused some tears. To say this is a pattern that I am going to let go of. Now I move forward, I stand firm, and I reconnect once again with my personal confidence. And open myself to something new, something different. I leave this emotional situation behind. That's why you're really going to feel the change, right? I feel like I'm going from a state of a lot of sensitivity and emotion to more of a state of affirmation. Let's see what else we have. Dear Pisces, general and available energy. You have the Emperor, the King of Swords. This is very good. And the Page of Pentacles. Page of Swords is also here. Notice how this energy has changed. Because of course we've said that you're coming from a state of significant sensitivity, right? With something you've released, but now you've become much more firm. You've gained control, you've gained confidence. And when this confidence appears and a new vibration emerges, I feel here a Pisces who is reaffirming himself. What you've been able to release emotionally has given you the opportunity to stand your ground, right? To realize who you are at this moment, that you are an adult here, mature, with a new outlook on life, who has also opened his eyes, who has accessed the truth. And you are starting to have a much bigger vision about life and about yourself, especially also about some situation in your relationships. So that clarity that you are starting to gain, it's like, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to figure out where that came from. I've also started to understand what I feel. I've started to understand what I want, where I'm heading. It's a moment when you're receiving a lot of information, and it's that information that comes to clarify your outlook. The information comes to give you confidence. And this information is not only channeled, it could also be a conversation you have. Important in these times with someone, a conversation, a statement. It's that information that was exactly what I needed. This was what I needed to read. This was what I needed, the way I wanted to think. And you're going to start to feel how stability and control start to come into your life. Everything related more to the part of illusion is being left behind, the fantasy, and you are entering a much more concrete scenario, real and physical. That's why this topic of new stability feels so strong. I'm standing on solid ground. I'm starting to have control over those emotions, over those thoughts, and I'm not allowing them to make me feel or think something that maybe doesn't match reality or this moment. Let's see what else we have. I think you all have set a limit to that. It's like putting a limit on pain. To say, I don't want this to hurt me anymore, because I now see things differently. I have a different outlook on life. They have the Ace of Cups there. There are new emotions that are starting to emerge. And this is because you have allowed it. Because you have allowed yourself to have that emotional control, to not hold on to what hurts you, to what wounds you, to not have those negative thoughts, to not go back to the past. Emotions are starting to get back on track. You have the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Five of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Wands. And yes, there are opportunities here, opportunities in love, in romance. I feel like there's a really beautiful connection here, but from a certain point, from realism. What I mean is that you have the opportunity to open yourselves up to a connection, to get to know someone. There's something very new in the area of love. What it's asking of you is to have the courage here, right? And the bravery to face your insecurities. The insecurities. They have to do with illusions because this isn't real. So if there are unconscious fears of, will this person be the one for me? The other person. Will they feel the same as I do? I'm afraid to take a chance, to invest, to move forward in the relationship, and then end up hurt, end up wounded. Or that this person rejects me, or doesn't value me, or doesn't give me that support. Notice that this has come up exactly in the column where these illusions are, right? That's why we say that here, it's a bit like a game with the unconscious, a game with those.
Con esa
that sometimes create insecurities for us. When life presents you with an opportunity, not only always in sentimental matters, this can also happen in work situations, right? In other areas of life. That's why we have here that you're stronger than before. Pisces. You've come out of there like from a battle. You've come out of there from a confrontation. And this has given you the strength you need here to start something here on the sentimental level, to start something that has value, to start something real here, to start something here that really, it has support. It has real support. New emotions are starting to awaken in you. This new possibility to love, to help, to open up to new feelings. Express what you feel. Give yourselves that moment as well to connect with those feelings and lose those fears. Lose those fears. Fears. And lose those fears. Lose those fears. And in the oracle, Pisces. A very emotional reading, very sentimental. Right, well, Mercury retrograde is still in your sign, and you might be feeling all this sensitivity, especially you, in a very deep way. Pay attention to those thoughts from the past that come to separate reality from fiction as well. Let's see what your advice is. Your advice, you got the polar bear here. Its keyword is mystical. It tells you, know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within you. Dear Pisces, this is what we've seen. For all of you, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you here next time.